Good afternoon, friends. Hi, I'm Phil McPhail with United Country Lifestyle Properties in Maine. And today I'm excited to bring you to the small town of Abbott in Piscataquis County. We're going to look at a 77-acre site here. And right now I'm at the end of about a 1,600-foot driveway that's been built to the center here. We got 2 or 3 acres cleared for a building site. We also have a site closer to the pavement and the electric power. This property has a lot of paved road frontage, year-round access. There's a small little creek on it. It's got some nice mixed wood timber. We've got everything here, but what really sets this property apart from the crowd is the location. So come along with us. We're going to take you on a tour of this area of Piscataquis County, the town of Abbott, and all that it has to offer. And stick around towards the end of the video. We'll get to price, taxes, and all the other good information you all want to know. Folks, we're now here towards the middle of the land in the town of Abbott, and the elevations of this site are pretty nice. We start out on the road at about 390. Where I'm at right now is about 420 feet above sea level. The high point towards the southern end of the lot is about 470 feet above sea level. Other than the small creek that's here, there's not much you'd be concerned about for flooding or anything like that. Just a beautiful wooded site. The timber on this lot is kind of a middle-aged forest. There's some older growth here. The recent owner, the most current owner, actually just did a timber harvest here to thin this out, kind of a pre-commercial thinning. Left a really nice stand. It's a very nice mixed wood stand of timber. We've got everything in here from your softwood, spruce, fir, and pine, to the majority of Maine hardwoods, maples, birch, beech, poplars in here, a few. And you can see it's going to grow really well now that they've opened this up. It was a very dense softwood on the ground. Middle-aged forest. Oh, by the way, this is not in the tree growth tax program. For those of you who have a phobia about saving money on your taxes, you can pay the full tax rate here. Or if you choose, give me a call and I'll tell you how to put this property in tree growth, save you some money. Wanted to share some of the soil information on this property, and we'll put the soil map here for you to look at. But this is a section up near what I call the off-grid building site, 1,600 feet off the road. This is supposed to be stony loam according to the NRCS maps, and that's exactly what this is. And actually, probably a little more sandy than stony, at least in this section. I can see rocks up in the woods, so most of the soil mapping looks pretty close. I think you could actually farm this section here. You do have some boulders around you got to work around. You can see them here and there. But there's a lot of sand out near the road. That's going to be excellent land to work. No rocks in it at all. Might be a little too dry. Might have to do some amendment there. But let's go take a look at that, and I'll show you the road front while we're out there. We're back here again in the beginning of this lot. There's an unnamed brook here in Abbott that crosses the property for about 1,200 feet. This isn't big water. It's a small little creek. However, we just noticed some crayfish and some small fish swimming around in it, so it does have life. I assume it runs year-round if those creatures are living here. You can see it's kind of a open wetland on both sides of the creek. Creek channels running through that. You also see that on our map here attached. This is a great place for deer and for wildlife, for ducks. There is a small pond down near the road that probably an acre or so on this property. That this brook feeds into, and eventually it runs into the Piscataquis River. This is the interior road that comes in from Route 6, which is also called Maine Road here in Abbott. We're in here about 400 or 500 feet from the main road right now, and you'll notice that this is a built-up road bed, mostly sandy and rocky material in it right now. It could use a skim of gravel if you're going to build in at the end of this road. You'd want to cover that with gravel, but it's a beautiful base started. Nice culverts in across the brook, and then it goes up to the top of the hill, somewhat near the high point of the land, and ends there in the center of the lot. So you decide, do you want to be on the grid out here on the road? Do you want to be 1,600 feet back in the woods away from everybody? So now we're out here by the road, and as I said, that soil was very sandy out here. This is almost pure sand. There's very little clay in it. There's very little rock in it. It doesn't take long. You'll see this little point on the map, and it's actually shown pretty clearly. You go in here a little bit, you're going to see it transition to that rocky and stony loams. Folks, we're out here on Route 6 or Main Road in Abbott now, and this is the frontage behind me and behind you. We have about 1,476 feet according to the deed of frontage on this highway. You'll notice up above me, we do have power, we have communication cable. Everything's right here for your on-grid, year-round residents. If you've never been to Maine, or maybe you're in the southern parts of the state, I'll tell you, look, Piscataquis County is the least populated county in Maine. And the town of Abbott here is a very rural town of about 650 people. What's really nice about this location, though, is we're 14 miles from the nearest hospital, and we're only 3.2 miles to a nice grocery store. So you're in a rural area, you got some privacy, but you're really close to services. You're probably wondering, where in the world is Abbott, Maine? Well, it's believe it or not, it's not that far out in the woods as you might expect. We're 48 miles from the airport in Bangor. We're northwest of Bangor by 48 miles. We are 34 miles to the I-95 exit 159 in Newport, which would, if you're coming north, would be the quickest way here. Boston is just 240 miles, and it's a pretty easy 3 hours and 45-minute trip right to the city. So again, we do have lots of privacy in Abbott, but you're close enough to get there. Or as we say in Maine, you can get there from here. Why would you want to move to Abbott, Maine? Well, Abbott is located smack dab in the middle between the Penobscot River drainages and the Kennebec River drainage. And we've got hundreds of wild trout ponds. We've got some massive glacial lakes in this area, and a whole lot of stuff in between from streams, brooks, and other small ponds and lakes. That's a good reason you'd want to move to Abbott. Reason number two you might want to move to this area. Moosehead Lake is 23 miles due north of this location here in Abbott. And if you're not familiar with Moosehead, it's Maine's largest lake at 75,000 plus acres of surface area, and it has depths approaching 250 feet. All of Maine's cold water fish species swim there, from salmon and brook trout to your lake trout. Gorgeous piece of water. You won't believe it till you see it. We'll take a look at it here in this video. Hey, if you've ever been to Moosehead Lake, either recently or maybe in your childhood, share your experience of that part of Maine in the comments below. We'd appreciate that, to let others know what other people think about such a great lake. Reason number three, for all you folks that love the outdoors, and quite honestly, if you hate the outdoors, why would you ever want to move up here? That's what we've got. We've got it in spades. The town of Monson is 8.6 miles, just a little north of here, and that is the start of the 100-mile section of the Appalachian Trail. Beautiful little community of Monson. Had a lot of money put into it over the last few years by the Lieber Foundation out of the Portland area in Maine. They've put millions of dollars into updating this town. Nice little place to visit, catch a meal, check out one of the lakes there. Other nearby towns include Guilford. That's where your grocery store is. It's about 3 miles away. Dover-Foxcroft, where the hospital is, county seat. It's 14 miles from here. So much you can get to, but at the end of the day, you're back here in the woods all by yourself. Hey folks, before we get to the wrap up of this and all the terms of the property, while you're here, obviously you've been watching this far, please like our videos when you see them. If you do, share them with other folks, subscribe to our channel. That's important, especially if you want to get updates when they become available, or new videos as well. And when you hit that notification bell, make sure you put on all notifications. That way you won't miss the next one. Well, thank you folks for taking this tour of the property here in Abbott. I'm going to wrap up the details for you right now. We've got 77 plus or minus acres, mixed wood forest. The taxes on this property are under $800 a year, and those with that phobia for the tree growth tax program, this one's not in it. We've got 1,476 plus or minus feet of road frontage, about 1,600 feet of an interior road, 1,200 feet through the property on a little creek, mixed timber, great location. I don't know what more you could ask for. Maybe you want a property information packet, call 800-286-6164 and I'll send you one.